Oh, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I've been, I'm always having fun. And I really, and I tell you, I've been trying to think, why is it that, why is it that I enjoy life as much as I do? And I'll tell you what it is. I think I'm getting close to figuring it all out. And the thing is, I'm a kind of a, I really don't get serious when I debate things. And the reason is, I understand debate. I was in high school. I wasn't a debater or nothing, but I saw them and I'd listen to them. They'd go on both sides of an issue. And I can do that. The problem is, one of the things, I don't remember everything. And the thing is, I mentioned I am dyslexic or something like that. But whatever it is, my reading is very difficult. And so reading is difficult, and getting the meaning of it is very difficult. And so a lot of times I have to use my imagination. Not with the reading. I get misdirected. Whenever I read something, I'll miss something. And when you miss something, it completely changes the meaning. But that's why I do things. If there's something I want to learn about, I will go do it. Or I'll go, on a tour and learn about it, or something like that. In other words, it's got to be a visual or a hands-on or something like that. And it was, I was waiting. I've mentioned in various videos that on Trump, when he won, nobody, when I say nobody, the snowflakes, they all, they're such poor losers. They just, well, this can't be, and all this kind of stuff. But what I've learned through life is the stuff that we know to be factual, it's probably not. It's got worse. Now, I don't know, when I was younger, it was as bad as it is now, or what. I don't know. When I was young, I used to believe when somebody said something was a fact, I believed them. And one thing that I've learned is a fact, to me, is something that, you can count on it. A fact would be like gravity. Everything's pulling everything down, downwards. That's gravity. That's a fact. And I think it is a fact. I know there's places that are exceptions to the fact. And this is what I'm talking about. Even the things that we know are factual, they're not. One reason why I don't like laws. A law should be enforced. And the exceptions to the law, there's always exceptions to the law. So that's why once a law is written down, then people look at it, well, that's a fact, that's a law. Well, there's a lot of exceptions. So that's why a lot of this stuff was really rough. But for me, especially on my videos, and it's even worse. If you were, remember I said, I make my videos as if we're all sitting around talking. There's only about 3 or 4 of us, and we talk about any kind of weird thing, and we all talk like we know something. But we all have when we get done, there's a conclusion to the story. Doesn't necessarily mean it's accurate, but we've got a conclusion. In other words, if we're talking about world problems, we can solve all the world problems. But that doesn't mean the world problems are solved. And but that's the thing. I mentioned that I believe, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I talk about in my videos. It's what I believe. Now, and what I believe is important. And what you believe is important. Because you base your life on the things that you believe. I base my life on the things that I believe. And some of it I can justify. Some of it I can't. I don't have the answers to all these, especially for me, on situations I get myself into. I don't have the perfect answer to this stuff. I just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. And but an example what I was going to was I mentioned that Trump won like 60-something % of the vote, and the reason I say that is because I have to use logic. I can't blindly follow anybody. I have to understand what's going on, and then I have to think it out. I've learned if I don't think something out a little bit, I'm probably going to get screwed out of the thing. So on the Trump situation, I have to understand the Democrats is who counts the votes. And if we haven't figured it out by now, the Democrat Party has turned to the kind of a socialist type of party. And it's not it's not beyond them from counting dead people's votes. It's not beyond them from letting foreigners come in and vote. When we talk about the election being tampered with, it's been tampered with. But like I say, if we go by the facts, if every time we don't do anything because the facts don't justify it, you're not going to get shit done. I don't know how many things that I get myself into when I don't have all the facts. You have to understand when you hear something that's supposed to be factual, more than likely it's not. That's why when I make my videos, sometimes they get a little bit of kind of weird. Well, that's because you have to think. I don't want nobody to blindly follow. I'm trying to get your imagination to get started, so then you can understand what it is that you're hearing. Because one thing I've learned since I get older, they say words, but they don't always mean the words they say. And you already realize now they've changed the meaning of a lot of words. And so, and you got to remember, they change these meanings and stuff like that because there's people out there trying to justify their evil acts. I don't know how else you're going to say it, because, like I say, if you're not speaking your truth, and I'll speak my truth. That's one of the things my wife even said, that one of my weaknesses is I speak the truth too much, and so. But the thing is, it's the truth the way I know it. Remember, they're saying the truth the way they know it, but the difference is, when my videos, I will say something, and normally I'll have a kind of a story to go along with it. This is where I came to this conclusion. This is why I believe this. And this is why on some of the comments you have people that call me all kinds of names, and even liar and all this kind of stuff. And the reason is their truth is different than mine. I understand that. I have no problem with it. But some people do. Some people really believe the truth is in their little minds. They think they really know things. This is the problem when I mentioned, and you all really realize it also, educated idiots. There's some people that are just really educated, they're highly educated, and they're stupid as hell. That's because they believe they have the answer. That's why I get irritated with politicians that they believe this is the right thing to do. And then when they're wrong, hey, and then we're going to do this. And then it's just continuous, one bad thing after another. And then finally, they retire or they get out, and they keep the retirement. They still get paid. If you owned a business and your employees made decisions and they were wrong and they cost your company money, and you're going to give them a big retirement along with get them paid all the time? It doesn't work that way other than government. And like I say, this is why, and this is nasty, because I have some people that will say they're so sure that this is the way that's going to happen. I will tell them, I'll tell you what, I will follow you blindly. Just because you said that you know that that's it. And in that case, will you cut your balls off if you're wrong? In other words, I hate being so nasty like that, but that will make a person realize they're making a decision. And you want me to follow it because you are so sure you're right, but not sure enough for extreme things like that. Well, that sounds pretty good, because the results of your bad decision is going to be, I'm going to feel like that's what happened to me. So, in other words, you have to think. You have to think for yourself. And I'm always telling people, hey, where's your source for your information? Where are you getting this? And because, like I say, these snowflakes, they come up with the weirdest stuff. And like I say, government officials, they're making decisions on what kind of facts are you coming from where you're making these decisions. So these are things we need to consider. Remember, their reality isn't necessarily our reality. This is why I travel. This is why I see things. This is why what everybody hates is I ask questions. Because the questions don't always answer the exact thing that I'm getting to. But a lot of times that will help me understand what we're looking for. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.